to you, and today we're going to make an alternative. I'm going to be using the stamp set on the ocean. Might not be using much from the stamp set itself, but I've used the dies that go with it. Okay, so we're going to start, and I've cut out a label. So you want something that's roughly, let's see what it is. It's roughly 2.5 by 3.5. So you want something on the lines that's 2.5 by 3.5. And I'm going to just come in with some colours to actually give it a bit of a background colour. Now you can do several things with this. I'm using my blending brushes to give it a bit of sea and sky. I'm going to give it, so I'm going to just bring some colour into it so that you won't have any white in the background. You could use sponge daubers if you haven't got blending brushes. You could also use a brayer if you haven't got any of those as well. You could also use the stamp set that I nearly used as well, where it's a seam one, and I didn't think about getting it out. Let's see if I can just see it quickly. Forgot what it's called. I have them alphabetically, but if you don't know what it's called, then you can't reach for it quickly. I'm going to have to give up in a minute if I can't spot it. No, I can't. It's here somewhere. I know it's on my shelf somewhere. Oh, here it is, Ocean Front. That's what it's called. It's called Ocean Front, and you could use these. So that's something else that you could use if you haven't got blending brushes, or you haven't got a brayer, or you haven't got the actual if you've got a stamp set like that. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to put that just on one side because I'm going to come back in a minute. So that was Seaside Spray. So you could use Tahitian Tide, Night of Navy, any sort of blues that you've got. And I'm coming in with mint macaron. You can use any soft sea foam, any blues and greens that you quite like, because we're going to have the blue of the ocean and there. So that's all we wanted to do. Just put that little bit of colour there so that it's not stark white in your face. Right, so we're going to place that on one side. And I'm going to come in. I've already cut these from the dies. So I've got my 3 pieces that I'm going to use. So I'm going to use my sponge dauber. Don't tell me I didn't get that out then. Right, I'll go for this then because I didn't get it. Oh, let's have a look. I'm just going to see what happens if I sort of bring in my blending brush to just give it a little, take the whiteness off it so much. Just going to give it a little bit of that with the blending brush. So I forgot to get my Seaside Spray out. So yeah, it does work. So I'm going to do that and then come back. Now, apologies if I'm sniffing a bit. I am recovering from COVID. It's knocked me for 6 again, so that's not been very good for me. I'm just going to do that, and then just on this bit as well, just on the outsides. Right. Just bring that a bit. So it works with my blending brush just to get that stark whiteness again off. So that worked. and just put that out of the way. Now I'm going to bring in my cinnamon cider. Cinnamon cider, because I forgot, and so I actually want the rigging so to be sort of the brown. So I want that to be that. Now I'm just going to have the mass, so I'm just going to come in with the mass just there and the pole at the bottom, and again, if any of this shows, we want that little bit there, just doing that. Now a rug will be more yellowy, so grabbing whatever yellow I've got, Kush Curry. So I'm going to just these ropes a bit, come in on there. Okay. There. It's getting a bit dry. Getting those there like that. That'll do fine. And I wanted to actually just bring in a bit more brown. Not sure whether this is crumb cake or not. I just got a bit of spare card, using up some scraps, so I'm going to use my sponge dauber and bring it in a bit more woody, just giving it some nice shading, making it interesting to look at. Okay. Just kind of wiping it across. That's just giving it that little bit of interest rather than it being a flat colour. Okay, right. So I'll put those out of my way to dry a little minute and bring back in my card pieces. Right, so what have I done with them? That's interesting. All 4 pieces was together. Here they go. Right, so I've started off with 4 pieces of 5 by 7 because this will make a 5 by 7 card, so it'll fit in a 5 by 7 envelope. So I've just cut, so you can do any piece of cardstock, 5 by 7, and score down at 2.5, and then you just want to use your bone folder and just go and crease all of those. So what I'm doing, I've got that all done. Okay, and then what we're going to do is flatten them all out again. So flatten them all out, and we're going to put our pieces. Now originally when I did this one, I talked about using 2 different DSPs. So that's what I've done today, so you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to flatten my edges of my DSP. I'll just cut it the other way. So if you've got any burrs or anything, just go round and just flatten it. That's it. Making it flat. And let's see if there's anything on there. I think that one's okay. And that looks practically okay. Right, so I'm going to glue, just randomly pick a panel to do. So I'm going to do 4 pieces. Now my pieces are 2 3/8 by 6 7/8. Okay, so that will just give us a nice little border all the way round, so it won't be too big, the border. Just do that, and we're going to just put 2 So you can randomly pick any of your panels you want to do this. Okay. So I'm just randomly picking this. So that's one done. And then pick another one. Doesn't matter because they're all the same size. So I'm just picking them randomly. Okay, and then making sure I've got equal increments. So that's 4 pieces at 2 3/8 by 6 7/8. And this is such a simple card to make, but very, very effective. Okay. And then I've got another piece, another colour, and I'm going to put these on. So it's the same size again. So it's the 2 3/8 by 6 7/8. I'm just going to randomly put these. Now I have got, although you can't really see much of a pattern, there is this kind of swirl at the bottom, and that reminds me that the ocean's coming up. So I'm wanting to make sure I get all those at the bottom. So you can do this with any coloured DSP. So you don't have to stick to the colours I'm using. It was just some blue that I'd got knocking about, so I'm using up. If you're interested in what DSP actually is, it went with Friends Like Seashells. So it's the background colour is Seaside Spray. But any of the balmy blues that you might have knocking around, or anything that's oceany, if you wanted to recreate an ocean card like me. There we go. Right, now just going to make sure this bends the other way now. Make sure they both bend both ways so that you get plenty of movement. So I've done it one way, and now I'm just, once I've put my ones on, I'm putting it all together. Right, now I'm going to choose one of these panels, as this is going to be my front and this is going to be my back. So first of all, I want to turn this over, and because I haven't got an up and down pattern on this side, that's fine, but I do want to bear in mind that I want these at the bottom. So I'm going to just make sure that I've got plenty glue going right close to the edges, and then I'm going to sit this so that it sits right close to the fold. Just make sure that you've got the equal there, the top, so you want equal at the top, equal at the bottom, and you want to get the other piece. Now again, I'm wanting those at the bottom, so I'm watching where they are, and I'm going to put this the glue all the way round. We've got plenty of glue on this. And then again, put that up to the fold. Just make sure that you've got it level at the top, level at the sides, level at the bottom. Just press that down. So those two like that. Just making sure that these are level. Don't worry about this. If these are not too pushed up, as long as it's level at those sides, top and bottom, you'll be fine. Okay, just get rid of some glue off there. And then I'm going to now put glue on all of this. I'm just going to make sure it's right on the edges. And do it same at the other side. And be careful of your glue. Okay, and open that up. Again, I'm looking to make sure that it's equal at the top. I want to equal all at the top. Just play around with that. You want to equal at the sides. And press that down. Press that down. Okay. Now, if you get any showing, you can always go back in with your trimmer and trim any off if it's, or trim it off with your scissors. There's that many layers to it, it looks fine anyway. Okay, so ahead of time, I decided to use this blue. Just let me bring it in. And I've already cut out ahead of time, but I just wanted to show you the whole side first. So this is 5 1/4 by 6 1/2. Yes, 5 1/4 by 6 1/2. And then you want to score down either side at 1/2 inch, and then find something that you like to cut out an aperture in the middle. Now I decided to go for cutting what do they call them? Not the stylish shapes. Where have I gone? I think it's called the ornamental. No, that doesn't ring a bell. Here it is. It's the layering dioramas. What am I thinking of? Right, so what we're going to do is save that for working on something else. And we're going to bend these back now. Now, when I showed you on the card that I made before, when you bend these back, quite a lot of the time, this is going to show through it. And of course, when you put it on something like this, it's now really showing these pieces. So what, if you've got the same issue as I've got, I'm going to show you in a minute what I will do to get rid of this. So I'm just going to get these two done first. So get that. Now while I'm waiting for the glue to go off slightly, just round these with your bone folder. Okay, so round it with your bone folder so that it gives it, you see it's giving it that quite a curve now. Now what I'll do is look for it being the same distance from the sides on each side and the bottom. Okay, when you're happy that you've got it equal, both sides, just give it a good firm press down. Now, can you see? You can see that paper. Well, I don't like that. I want it to match my background piece of DSP. So what I've done is I've got an 1/2 inch piece by 6.5, and I'm just going to slot that in to cover up that there. So now it will not be noticeable that you've got anything, because it's matching your DSP that's in the background. So if you, on the previous card that I made, I could, this piece was the same, the reverse was there and the front was there, so that when you took those round, it became the same. So this time I've not been able to do it. So this is a way of doing it if it doesn't work out, that you can use the back side of your DSP so that it'll be the same. So just popping these in there, and then that just disguises that nicely. Okay, and just press that down. Okay. Now the one I made previous, I actually did 2 of these, but because I'm making a mail card, I'm not going to make it like that this time. So I've got 2 pieces, excuse me, that are going to fit on the back. One you can write on, and the other I'm kind of going to put a verse and decorate. So any sentiment that will fit on, you could just use a piece of white card that measures 2, let's see, if we've got 2.5, I did that 2 3/8. You could do 2 1/8. So what you could do is you could have a piece of card that's 2 1/8 by, it was 6 7/8, so you could do about 6 5/8, something like that, just to make it so that you can, and you don't need to do 2 sides, then you could just do 1 side, leave the DSP showing and just do one of these. I, however, decided that I'd quite like to put a verse on one side and write on the other. So, okay, so here's to the happiest birthday yet. So anything that will fit sentiment wise, you can choose anything you like. I like to collect kits. That was out of a kit, and I've got some little, this is Ahoy, you can still get this. So I'm just going to come in, and I'm just going to, I've got a little ship, so I'm going to stick my sailing boat. Ooh, got a hair on there. Let's take that off. Let's do some little ships going around. One coming off. So up there and down there. So that's some little ships on there. I think that'll do. I'll not do any more than that. And then of course I've got the other side, which I will decorate top and bottom. I've decided, and I think I'll do it in the same. So what did I do with that when I put it down? I can't see it. Just had it. What have I done with it? Right, can't be bothered to, oh, it's here. Right, so again, I'm just gonna do some little ships at the top. There we go, and do some at the bottom. There we go, and then I will write in the middle there. Okay, so that's for the back now. So I can put those on here. So I think I'll have me this on this side. So let's just get that off there. Put that in the middle, roughly. Now bear in mind when you do things like this that you will have to pay more postage. Don't try and send these through the post on a normal. This needs to be large letter. So do bear that in mind when you make cards like this. Otherwise the recipient will get something posted through their door, not enough, and they'll charge you £1.50. Okay, so that's ready to write on, and then we're going to finish the front off now. Let me put those out of the way. So we need a piece of card, and it's 3 inches by 1 inch, scored at ½ inch on either side. I'm just going to round this. I'm just going to round that, and then just use my bone folder to actually do this. Okay, so I want that round, and I want it roughly in the middle, but I'm going to eyeball it. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that on there. Now you're not going to see this, so we're not going to cover it with the SP. I'm going to do it in the middle, so I'm looking roughly top and bottom and either side. So I'm just going to hold that there a few seconds to let it adhere. Okay, and then you can see as soon as I'm moving it, you can see that it's rounding up. Okay, so let's hold that there. Right, now I think I'm going to put some dimensionals on that bit, so to pull it away. So I'll just down the middle put a dimensional there and dimensional on there. Okay, so just take those, yeah, they're off, and then bringing this back, and I'm going to put this roughly in the middle, top and bottom. Now I'm going by my shape and not by this, because it comes in and out and all over the place, doesn't it? So that's no good. Right, now my ship, I'm hoping this is going to work. I think it, yeah, I think that will. I'm going to put this upon a dimensional. I'm just going to round it a bit though, and I'm going to put this right at the bottom. So again, I'm going to put dimensionals in the middle so that that gives it the round effect, and put 2 in it, and just make sure that they start from about there. So, oops, I want to not to take it as far that way. Let's see. Okay, make sure it's coming free. There we go. And then deciding how I want to play my rigging. So I think I want to, yeah, have that going something like that, I think. So I'm going to first of all stick a dimensional on my sail, down there, and that top one, I'm going to just put a little bit of a one. Right, and I'm just going to warm it with my fingers a bit, give it a little bit of a round so it's not absolutely flat. And yeah, take that one off, and I want to just come back in, yeah, about there. So I want that about there, tuck that underneath, and then I'm going to stick some dimensionals on this one I will kind of round before I stick anything on. I think I'll have to have that going back there, I think. So again, I'm going to stick dimensionals in the middle part. And that's too big, so again I want to cut a little bit off on the top bit. Oops, I'm ripping all of them off. Okay, peel those packs off. That's it. Just going to flatten it to see. I think. That's it. Tuck that in there, so that's coming around there. Tuck that underneath as well. So we'll see if that works. Yeah, that works. And then I thought I'd have the happy birthday is a lovely tiny happy birthday out of here, and I did myself a little stylish shape, and would you believe it has disappeared on me? I'll just try and find it. Otherwise I'm going to have to cut myself a new one. I didn't want to have to do because I've prepared everything ahead of time. I'll just get my happy birthday out ready. And if I can see it as it fell on the floor. Hate that when that happens. You get everything ready and then you discover that it's disappeared on you. So let's put that there. Come on, where are you? That's falling off the table. Must be here somewhere. I've not moved them very far. Had them all together. Not got any loose ones hanging about, have I? No. Right. Nothing but cut another one, which is a nuisance, but hey ho. Right, because I've not cut it ahead of time, I will come in with my Seaside spray and bring in the happy birthday. Put it in the middle. It's beautiful. And shut that up. And then bring in the stylish shapes now. Yeah, stylish shapes. And it's the smallest one of the stylish shapes. So we're just going to bring that over there in the middle. Bring in the old die cutting machine that I've got. And let's see if I can... Let's just cut these off because this is going to send it skew-whiffed through. Just bring that in there. Yep. Hate it when you do that, you get it all lined up. That's why our machine's better, because you've got a platform to lay it on. Only I've been lazy and I've not got it out. Try that. Hope for the best. Oh, Oh, it's gone wonky on it. Yeah, it's gone wonky on it. Let's just cut that out. Put that out of the way. Bring it back in. This is the original way I was going to do it. And that's gone a bit wonky, but it's not as bad, so I'll have to go with that one. Running out of white by me. I don't want you to wait forever. Okay, and I think I'm going to stick it on an angle anyway, so I'm going to just cut some little bits of my dimensionals on the top and the bottom. I think I'll stick that going at an angle there. It doesn't, yeah, it sticks there. Right, now I've fancied playing with the die that actually makes a bit of ocean. I haven't got round to playing with that yet, so let's have a go and see what happens. See if I like it. If I don't, it won't be going on, but if I like it, it'll be going on. Let me just move things out of the way. Bring back my lovely dies. So we've got this nice little oceany bit here. So I'm actually I've got a longer piece. I'll save that for something else. Bring back in. Let's have a look what happens when we put this through. So bring that there. I won't need all of it, or I might just layer it and layer it. We'll see. See what happens. So taking this one through. Now, does it cut out? Right. That's what it cuts out there. I think I'm going to put that along there. And let's have a look. I'm going to cut the other piece out as well. So we'll see what happens with this. Let's cut that up there. So let me just put this inside so you can see what I'm looking at. So I've got this lovely bit on there. I'm going to put this going higher up now and run this through. So that gives you that. So I'm just going to chop it off here. And there's that bit there. I'll just chop that down. So let's have a look. I'm gonna put that, I think, going inside there. So I'm gonna chop it about here, I think. That's too big, so I'm going to chop some off there. Yeah, and I'm going to tuck that underneath there. So I'm going to put some glue on this bit here. So we've got a nice bit going off there. I'm going to tuck this in, but try and be careful not to get any glue till I'm happy where it's going, and then stick that over the top there, and then this bit, and see, I think I'm going to have that going from there to about there. I wish that that's about right, and then I'm just going to come in and stick a bit of glue on here. Let's get that to come in there. Let's just move those out from underneath me. Move that glue a minute. Get back in there. That's it. And just bring those back in there. Okay, and then I will personalise this card, so I'll be putting something up there, maybe in gold, to actually add a little bit something else up there. I think I've got a brother that I'm going to be sending this one to, so that can have a brother in gold going up there, and I've got my happy birthday on there. But I think I do want to stick some gems. Now, what kind of things have I got? Now, I did have some, I don't know what I've got in here. Let's have a look. See if I've got, I don't want them. They will go with it. Black matte dots. So I've got some of these. No, I've got some like pebbles. So let me just have a look. Okay, so I've got some like faux glass shapes. This will be kind of like on the bottom. Let's see what colours we've got. We've got some like soft sea foam, mint macaronish. I'm going to move that out of the way. Or shall I have some just plain white ones going off on the bottom here to be like rocks? I'm going to randomly stick some on. Some shapes going off there. Give it a bit of, ooh, that flicks somewhere. Don't know where that one's gone. Put the pebbles on the, like on the ocean floor. Okay. So that's giving it a bit of interest down there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, can't have that. Now, where did that one go? It's gone down here. Found it. Don't want to waste one. Let's put it up there. There we go. So, let's move those out of the way. So, there's my on the ocean. Okay, so I hope you like that. As I say, I'm going to stick a brother in gold there. So that's the front, then it's got these nice parts at the side, and then you've got here's to the happiest birthday yet, and that's where I would write my to and from there. So it folds flat to go in the envelope, and then it bends out, pops out, gives it a nice look there. So I hope you like that. Thank you very much for watching. Do appreciate that you stopped by. Take care, stay safe, stay well. Please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to share my video. Thank you very much. Bye for now.